But what if I took the timer and moved it up here? What do you think of that, huh? Maybe, center it. Perfectly center it. Yeah. Now there's less clutter at the bottom there. Yeah, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm trying to rearrange this opening screen. And to be quite frank, the fan art corner takes up an enormous chunk of the screen. And then the stream timer was like right on top of that. Oof. Kerbal Space Program. I don't have a wrap number for this for this particular stream like I did last time. But we're still here. We're still on Tylo, and we gotta get those guys home. Did I leave the yes. Good. We're gonna be doing some live recordings today. Only about 2, though. We need to do one video of us driving around in the car. And then another video that is us going home. I can usually knock those out in about one video. And yes, Viper, surgery. Always a serious situation. Surgery. Why did it start at that campaign? But yeah, no, I hope it went well. I mean, you're here, so obviously you're alive, so congratulations. As you can see, you are not dead. Always good news. I added some mods to this game, actually. I added, I forget what it was called, but it, seriously enhanced all of the ground textures. Let me think, what is the well, I think one of the best looking planets with this new mod is Duna. Here, give me Vera. I haven't driven Vera in a while. This is one of the best looking planets with the new visual enhancements. And I just want to show you these immediately because I was absolutely flabbergasted, actually, with how good this looks. And you don't need a supercomputer to run it. Takes a second to load. I picked a rover on. There she is. Yeah, so as you can see, there are a lot more rocks now. Is that a dune? I think that's a dune. Hang on. If I could drive up it, it's a scannable object, which is also glitched off of the ground for some reason. Hey, Kerbal devs, come back and finish your game. Oh yeah, there's a solid object. Okay, cool. But yeah, but no, look at it! This looks so much more like Mars now. There's like a billion more rocks and cliffs and stuff. Also, the actual terrain scatter stands out a heck of a lot more. This was always a very large rover, wasn't it? Look at this stupid thing. Look what I built 85 years ago, guys. Why is it doing that? Oh, because the wheels are stupid. Anyway, that's Duna. Behold the glory. There are a million rocks everywhere. These look bigger, actually. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do more driving around, aren't I? Speaking of driving, Ike doesn't look much different, by the way. I already checked Ike. I checked them all, actually. I have stuff on pretty much everything except for Gilly. Speaking of Gilly, it's right there. That's Gilly. Now, I think the most jarring out of all of these, it wasn't Kerbin. It was Eve that kind of stood out to me. And you'll see why immediately. Uh-huh, yep. Anything look a bit, you know, odd? I'll give you a hint. It starts with a B. Give up. Yeah, it's a bit jarring, isn't it? Yeah, not how I would have interpreted the, not how I would have interpreted the hottest planet in the solar system. Thanks so much for the super chat, by the way. Parallax? Oh yeah, Viper, parallax. The planet here is 424 degrees Kelvin. Alexa, what is 424 degrees Kelvin in Fahrenheit?
424 Kelvin is 303.53 degrees Fahrenheit.
It is 300 degrees here. The sun is a deadly laser. Why there are bubbles in the air, I have no clue. Or plants. And there's a lot of it. I wouldn't mind the plants so much, but why the bubbles? Why though? Why are they so huge? And everywhere. Google, look up pictures of the surface of Venus. Photos of the surface of Venus. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's a wasteland. This is not how I would have interpreted this game's analog of Venus. Though to be fair, we only have like 8 pictures of the surface of Venus because, well, the Russians didn't exactly bring good cameras with them. Anyway, oh, another one that kind of stood out to me. Is there a campsite on the day side here? Yeah, it is. All right. Moho is the hardest planet to, you know, fly to in the game. This is the hardest planet to get to. Not the hardest to land on. It's getting here is the problem. Pegasus did it with a lander attached to it and then got back and still had enough fuel to fly to Duna. That's why I'm not entirely worried about flying home today. Yeah. Quite different from when we shot the videos, isn't it? Not exactly how I would have interpreted this place. What with the basalt rocks everywhere. Basalt does form into hexagonal patterns. Like, that is completely natural. I just wasn't expecting it to be, you know, here. It does? Yes, it does. Google pictures of basalt. And you will see, well, you have to scroll down a little bit, but you'll eventually get pictures of basalt formations that occur naturally. And, yeah, it looks more or less like this. It forms these weird hexagonal, shapes. And that's how it forms. If you want another weird rock that forms into, unnatural-looking shapes, look up pyrite. Pyrite is another very weird rock. So, does the car work here or not? I have no signal. I looked up basalt hexagon. I was not disappointed. Fantastic. Fantastic. Alright. That's Moho. I've never seen the surface of Gilly, nor do I have anything near the surface of Gilly. Let's try Drez. Is the rover on the light side? No, it is not. Alright, we'll skip Drez. Drez is a weird little rock. Anyway. Not a lot of people bother with Drez. Surprised I haven't heard about this game until before now? Really? That's surprising. This is a big one. This is a very big game. Elu rover. Yeah, Snowball is right around sunset. I think we can go in and take a look. This is Elu, this game's equivalent of Pluto. You'd think it'd be the hardest planet to reach, but it's not. It's just the furthest. Okay. Large chunks of ice everywhere. Radio. We just barely have a signal bouncing off the EluCom relay over to the JewelCom relay and reaching Kerbin. We don't get very good traction here, sad to say. Also, I think we're hovering over the surface. The wheel is off the ground for some reason. You remember the infamous ice worm? You mean from Subnautica Below Zero? The one that the playthrough just got done fighting? Yes, I remember the ice worm. Of course I remember the ice worm. The playthrough is, fighting it, like, right now. Why did you focus on pole? Well, actually... Is the rover there? Rover here is not on the day side. Fighting or running from? Both. We're on Tylo right now. Tell you what, Val. Where's my Val rover? There it is. It's on the day side. Yeah, Val was already the most interesting planet in the entire solar system. Let's do it. What do I have that can hurt the ice worm? A prawn suit. Bit of a minor spoiler, but yeah, that's done. Hey, thanks for the super chat. Whoa. That's a lot of rocks. That's a lot of ice. What's the matter, you? What's the matter, you planet? Oh. Well, didn't you just pick out the coziest spot? Okay, this is causing frame rate galore problems. Jesus Christ, you see this? This might be the one planet that we can't look at. Okay. Okay, we're fine now. What does Lathe look like? I originally wasn't gonna look around these planets, but I landed rovers here, so I think it's fair game. You know how hard it is to actually hit an island on Lathe? It's almost unloading. Oh, okay. I see fields of wheat. Mushrooms. And that might be trees in the distance. I think it went too far. Hang on. Oh, there they are. Those are not trees. Those are like the opposite of trees. And they appear from very, very far away. Alright, Roderick. You want to start driving, and I'll, see if I can sort out your power problems. I suppose if we disable the two back motors, things might go better for it. Here it is. Not really looking to give it a course here. I just want to set the speed. What the? Why did that increase it? Try 0.3. Okay. Anytime I put on speed control, the rover says this rover cannot go below 88 miles an hour or it will explode. Just like in that movie where the sequel had a cruise ship. It was awful. Aren't there any oversized iguanas? Well, let's see here. We have a number of atmospheric measurement tools that we can use while I'm hiding in the bushes. Can you move over here, Roderick, please? Thank you. Yeah, right here in the field of mushrooms is good. Thank you, Roderick. Okay. Temperature is 204. That's not bad. Gravity is 7.69 meters per second squared. You know, nothing out of the ordinary there. About 7.8 Gs here. So it's just a little bit behind, what was it, the other one, Tylo. And 33.5 kPa. It's just a bit below Kerbal, but definitely at a manageable level. Gravity hurts. Yeah, gravity hurts. Gravity is harsh. Lathe is a fun little rock. If you can land on it, that is. We're surrounded by ocean. Lathe is mostly ocean, guys. Actually landing here is a nightmare. Also, don't go to the ice caps. Do not go to the ice caps. You stay far away from those. They are broken. Okay, going to Tylo. Let's meet up with the boys, shall we? Let's get on with it. Too much water? Yep, 8 out of 10. No, not 8 out of 10. 7. What was it? 7 out of 10? Too much water? Lathe is a fascinating little ball of water, though. That one's next. That one's after Tylo. But no one's gonna remember the first VTuber on Lathe, so we might skip the streams on that one. Here we are. The ground here is, yeah, I know. I was expecting more rocks, too. That's more barren than I thought it would be. Might be able to find more if we, drive out a bit further. I don't know, maybe we're in the, sparse lands. Things don't crash into the ground here. Let me close a few things here, see if we could get just an ever so slightly better frame rate. Just ever so slightly better. We've been overcoming a few problems out here, actually. I had to solve the ladder problem, first of all, because I wouldn't climb the damn ladder. So that took me forever. And then... what's his name? Joff Cape. Got pinged off into oblivion, and after that we started, why is this up out of the ground? This oddly placed ground anchor is hovering. Okay, you know what? This is where we're starting the video. Okay, for some reason, that is on the D&D screen. Set it to the game screen. Too much water. It's like, skip Lathe. Too much water. Imagine how hard it is to learn how to walk when your head is this big. Our head isn't that big. Like, if I lift up the visor, there's just a lot of room in the helmet. Alright, video starting. And here we have the latest in Jofke technology. And wait. Okay, if I hit 1 on the numpad, it goes to my angry eyes, so I gotta hit the button randomly. Or manually. Why did I say randomly? Manually. Manually, brain. Come on, we got work to do. And here we have the latest in Kerbal technology, the latest invention from Jofke, the hover anchor, which is created when the ground glitches out and decides that it doesn't want to cooperate anymore. So that's a lot of fun, isn't it? Welcome back to the Vtuber Space Program, where we left off. I've been making some modifications to this thing. I still can't pull the radioisotope thermoelectric generators off the lander. In fact, I'm about to try one more time. That would be a no. But hey, at least I tried. We're going for a drive today. We're back with live chat. Johnny says the blue color looks very good. Well, Jofke has the blue. Oh, that's time warp. Where is he? Here he is. Jeb has the orange. And Dave here has the white suit. So it's all different colors on this one. For the first time in a decade. And I start to think that, my media player is biased towards this song because it can't stop playing it. Not that it isn't a good song, mind you. Alright. So some of you with more keen eyes may have noticed that the ground is slightly shinier. Yeah, that's the new parallax mod that I installed for visual enhancements. Let's scan some rocks. Let's see what we got out here. I think we got... Alright, well, there's mostly normal rocks out there, but, you know, the non-scan type. But that over there looks good. I just noticed that the, science lab isn't making any noise. Dave? What's going on with my lab? Oh, apparently this is done. Really? We've only been here about 3 weeks. If I had known it only took like 3 weeks to finish this stuff, I would have... Huh. Still not hearing any noise coming out of it. These are the loudest things in the game. Where's the audio? weird. Johnny asks, how do the Kerbals measure time without the sun? Well, first of all, they have the sun, it's right there. Second, I'd imagine they have a watch somewhere. I don't know. Apollo guys had watches. Ooh, wow, that's a lot of errors. That would probably explain why we're not seeing any terrain scatter here. I'm just gonna turn that on so we can see what we're doing out here. Here. Open her up. Let's see what she can do here. We got plenty of gravity to hold her down to the ground. It's not very often that we get to open her up like this. And for some reason, Mechanical Jeb is working on the rover now, so why not? Yeah, pretty good speed. She drives good here. I imagine she'll do quite well when Jewelcom finally locks onto her and we can take her for a drive wherever we want once the Kerbals go home. Ideally, what we should be doing with all of these rovers, to be honest. Power? She's fine. For some reason, she won't get up to 10 meters a second. This is as fast as she'll go, for some reason. Alright, there's a good looking rock right there. Let's see. Let me see it. Okay, we are so planting a flag on that. Alright. We'll get the one next to it, too. Well, Matt and I'm gonna figure out if there's anything else out here that we need to scan. We're actually losing speed. What the hell? Is she that bad on the hills? There's a traction... Bring the traction control all the way up. All 4 tires. Actually, I think if we bring it down, the motor will, yeah, give that a shot. Oh, yeah. Yeah. She gets more speed now that we have 0 traction on the wheels. No, I kind of expected her to slide all over the ice, but she isn't. So to be fair, this isn't an ice planet. We're not going to be dealing with any more balls of ice, at least. I am not going to miss Elu. Or Val, for that matter. Driving on Val is a nightmare. I saw the new terrain scatter on Val. It's nightmarish. We get frame rate problems. Thank you, Parallax. Okay. That's a good-looking rock right there. It's got layers. Multiple layers. It's a lot bigger than it looked when we zoomed in on it. It looked a lot smaller through the telescope. Alright. Let's, let's give it a great big hug with the, mechanical arm. About right there-ish, Jofke. Normally I'd have 2 people out for this, but, if anyone sits underneath that arm, it's gonna break. I call this the checkerboard for some reason. And no, there is no game audio for some reason. This arm is usually the loudest thing in the universe. Outcropping with patterns of light and dark on it look natural. Is it, or is it really some alien plaything? Which begs the question, are we all just playthings of some vast, incomprehensible alien minds? No, that can't be. Or can it? Alright, I'm gonna go fix the audio problems. What the hell happened? Did I accidentally... No, this game is not muted. I need something to let me know that, Here, just mute this for a sec. There is no audio. What the hell? Okay, everyone sees that all of the volume things are at 50%, right? Not just me? Alright, fantastic. Why is this broken? Maybe I should turn off parallax. It's causing a lot of problems. I didn't want to, but I think we're gonna have to, guys. I'm sorry. That was fun to look at. But wait, so now it's fucking working? Hang on. Ugh. Unless there was some recent update that finally muted those stupid science tools. Latest update, March 6th. That'd be a no. That'd be a no. There was no update that broke the game audio. Well, the birds are chirping. Give me a minute. We'll test this thing with the loudest thing. We'll test the audio with the loudest thing ever made by man. A rocket engine. Rocket engines are the loudest thing ever created by human beings. Standing next to a rocket engine won't just cause you to go deaf. The sound alone, it'll kill you. The loudest thing ever, the loudest rocket ever made by human beings, or at least America anyway, would be the Saturn V launch vehicle. A first stage, specifically, I believe is the loudest. And that was powered by 5 of these, or at least their equivalent, the Mastodon KE1 engine. Kerbal equivalent of the F1 engine, and we're just gonna put these on to lock it down. And a core, so I can actually, you know, hit the button to tell the engine to fire. The God Rocket? The God Rocket isn't here right now. Please leave a message. It's, they actually had what looked like aluminum foil around them to keep them from melting each other. The sound alone will kill you. The flames are, I'm not saying stand directly underneath it, but standing next to it will kill you. Because the sound is... That's gonna rip you apart in ways you can't imagine. Fire it up. What the fuck? Why is there grass everywhere? And trees? Where did these trees come from, Parallax? How come we're getting music and not rocket sounds? Whenever this stupid thing boots up, it's being very selective in which sounds play and which sounds don't. All these problems started appearing when we, just killed the throttle. The grass and trees should be gone by both flame and shockwave. There's less flame than you would imagine, actually, during a rocket launch. See, this pad specifically, the flames are directed out here and here. Watch. Another thing that NASA specifically will do is they will pour water down around where the nozzles are. This helps, you know, keep the... It not only helps keep the pad from, you know, incinerating, but it also helps mask the sound. Water is a fantastic sound masking tool. Okay, so whenever we're actually in game, whenever we're actually in game, the music stops. So does all of the sound. I can hear ambient wind, that's about it. KSP sound not working. Engine sound's not working. We're gonna take out parallax. I have a kill switch that I can hit to turn it off. It won't work without one specific mod, so I just delete that folder and boom, it's done. This does, however, mean we're gonna have to reboot the whole damn game, and that takes forever. Game data. Or I could just delete the 4.10 gigabyte folder here. You know, that might work. I believe it was Copernicus that I needed to delete. Let me just check something on this real quick. Yeah, okay. We're just gonna cut this. I think the problem is it's focusing so much on textures and stuff, it doesn't have time to think about sound. It's like, oh dear God. Oh my God. I cannot figure out the sound with this shit going on. Which is why it's more curious when I can actually hear the sound from really high up. If this doesn't work, we're gonna go verify the game files. There aren't too many of them, so it shouldn't take that long. Just ignore this. It'll tell you Mechanical Jab is incompatible, but Mechanical Jab works anyway. I don't know why it tells me that it's an incompatible mod. Maybe it's in the wrong place. This is the laggy part of the loading screen. Planning unplanned disassembly. I think you mean rapid unscheduled disassembly. It's not a crash. It's a rapid, unscheduled disassembly. Never visiting Dres. Hey, fuck you! Fuck you! I might just go visit Dres just to spite them. Okay. Rapid unplanned disassembly. Yeah. You go to SpaceX, they can tell you a thing or two about rapid unscheduled disassembly. Have you seen the old attempts at landing on the barge? They were so close that one time. Alright. There she is. Let's see how fast we can get her to go. Alexa, how fast is the sound barrier in meters? Already broke that by a factor of 2. Alright, she's starting to get really, really hot. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? What was our velocity on that? Yeah, that would have been flung over the continent, actually, if, atmospheric drag wasn't a thing. Unfortunately, it's gonna hit, by my guesstimate, around here-ish. We are, however, being flung out of Atmo. Yeah. Let's time accelerate so we can get back to Tylo. I don't think she's gonna break Atmo. I don't think she's gonna break it. No. No, she's not. This is what we call, Chinese rocketry. Because China's main launch complex is, like, deep in the center of, China. So boosters end up coming back down, to Earth and landing on various villages, in a manner such as this. Only they don't land in water, they don't have that much momentum. Just imagine that, but it lands on your house. That is how the Chinese do. The tracking station, please. So you nuked Africa? No, that wasn't Africa. We were still on our own continent. And I don't care about what happens to said people. Yeah, yeah, not really. There was one where they said, oh, it hit the village and killed like 10 people, but the actual death count was said to be way higher. Hundreds, actually. It also wasn't a nuke, it was a spent booster. Yes, it was a spent booster. Completely empty of all of its fuel. Worst case scenario, you get smacked by 1,000 engine pieces. Because do you have any idea how complex the plumbing is on a rocket engine? Can your puny brain even comprehend it? The answer is actually no. Rocket engines are notoriously complex. We have our own music, guys. Right, I'm bringing the recording back. Okay. Fixed the, audio. It was the parallax mod we had installed, so that's gone now. Over on the live chat, we were talking about, the complexities of, rocket engine plumbing, which is notoriously complex. Is something that Kerbal Space Program doesn't teach you, is how complex all that plumbing is. Gonna overwrite this just so I can actually hear it. There she is. Finally lowered the volume on this, but maybe it's a little too low. There we go. There's our checkerboard. Alright, Jeb, go ahead, get up. We're gonna climb this thing. Nice dismount. Very nice. Alright. Okay. Oh my god, yes. Okay, the collision on this is fantastic. They knew you were gonna climb this. It's like, well, you made it to Tylo. Not everybody can get here. Go ahead and climb a rock. Alright. Well, you know we gotta put a flag up here. That's not negotiable. That's the rule. What do we name this? Layers of Jofke. It's just a really nice rock. This asked if we could see Jeb's expression. Okay, first of all, it's not Jeb, it's Jofke. This is Jofke. He's just happy today. Frankly, he's just happy to be here today. He's been through a lot. He's been, where has he been? Everywhere, actually. Jofke's been everywhere. We sent him to Duna on a suicide mission. He came back. Because he's that good. Nah, I'm kidding. We went and got him, and then he went to the Mun to go get Charlie. He got Charlie back. And then he went back to the Mun. And then Minmus. And then a couple of other places. And then we assigned him to the Odyssey project, which ended up being okay, bump the rock a little bit there. That is fantastic. The way it just sits up there, very nice. But yeah, Jeffkey is our lead engineer. Nice guy. Again, he's been everywhere. He's tired. Viper asks if he's been to Eve. Technically, yes, but that live stream footage has been deleted, and we're gonna be going to Eve proper. Like, the ship I used for that was that doesn't count. All right. I downloaded that off the internet and be like, I want to go to Eve. Give me a ship that'll go to Eve. And they're like, okay, here you go. And I'm like, yeah, well, it wasn't my ship that did it. So now I'm going to build a ship that can do it, just to say I can do it. Can we get it in front of the antenna, please? Thank you. This is a good little rock right there. What else is here? I'm gonna look up what else is here. KSP terrain scatter. Oh no, wait, no, it would be surface features, wouldn't it? Surface features. On Tylo, there is another rock. I don't know if this is the light stone or the dark boulder. There's a light stone and a dark boulder on this planet. Okay, see, this is why I wanted the fucking radioisotopes mounted on the fuel tank in that one video. So that we could actually, you know, supercharge this thing and not panic every time we use the arm. Just completely drain the battery. Alright. Oh, wait. We kind of got a... one sec. Take the data out of that and put it in the nice, Jofke. Bang your head against it, why don't you? We already have these, apparently. Okay. That's right, we did that off camera, didn't we? Well, try this one. I don't know if we have the dark stone. I also don't know if this is the dark stone. Quickly, but yeah, I was about to say, shit. This thing is drifting. But I don't mean drifting like that. I mean, it's sliding. It slid right into the damn rock. I don't know if the car can roll over that either. Alright. I'm gonna try something that I figured out on Duna. If we turn the wheels like this... we do slide less, actually. Alright. Disable the... oh. Well, that doesn't help. Alright. Well, either way, she needs to recharge again, so here we go for another hour. More or less. Alright, turn the wheels so they're facing that way, and scan it. Alright, that one was good. Apparently this was the light stone and not the dark boulder. What is going on with our shadows? Okay. We already got the light stone. We need a dark boulder. What of 12? Oh, apparently those errors are just there all the time. Give me the surface feature finder. I'm willing to drive as far as it takes. Is that a dark boulder? Doesn't look like it. Is that a dark boulder? It definitely looks dark, and it looks like a boulder. Alright. We'll drive over to that one. Poor old Jafke has to drive it alone. Not like when we were looking for the magic boulder, is it? It's not as far as the magic boulder either. It's just... Yeah, give me the rover autopilot. I don't want to hold this button down. There we go. Again, really open her up. Really give her some speed. This is like... This is basically curbing gravity. I'm not at all worried that she's gonna ping off into oblivion because of the low gravity here. Because there is no low gravity. She hugs the ground pretty good here. 10. We got her up to speeds of 10 here, and I'm not even worried. Normally, I'm afraid to take her above 5 or 6 because she'll flip over in the low gravity. God, it's a good car. I love our car. I love this dumb little car that we've created. At the end of the stream a couple weeks ago... Oh, crap. Okay, I actually have something for the folks watching at home when we're done recording this video. Remind me when we're done here, because remember how we were looking at old 2 Smarts? I actually found pictures of the Gen 1, and I'm gonna show those when we're done recording this. I don't know how long that's gonna be. Probably soon, actually. All the science at the camp is apparently done, and there's not much more we can do here. So, I don't know. Probably once we, scan the rock over here. What's the timer at? Oh yeah, no, this... We could make this a video. You just scan the dark boulder and then, go home. Next week. The next week is just for the folks at home, but, the folks watching live get to watch it. Get to watch it in I don't know, half an hour. It depends on how long it takes me to drive back and scan this thing and charge the damn rover. Okay, so dark boulder looked like a goddamn lump of coal. It did. But I want that science data, so we're gonna scan anyway. There she goes. Okay. That's another hour of his life wasted. Yeah, override the light stone apparently because we already have it. That's my favorite one right there with the drill. You'd think it would be the laser. No, I like the drill. Now we can finally determine why this type of Tylo stone comes in only darker shades. Does Tylo itself have multiple personalities to generate such distinct rock colors? You didn't tell me the reason, though. What is the reason why this one's darker than the rest of them? Also, can I climb on top of it? That's another important question I have to ask. Are you clipping through that wheel? Don't. If that wheel breaks, you're walking back. Alright, we got 10 things in that trunk now. Alright. Can I climb this? Yes. Of course I can. Fun times on Tylo. Not everybody can get here. Now we have to get them home. That's the hard part. And we're off the air. I did say that I had a picture for you guys, and yeah. At the end of our 7.5-hour stream that we did getting here, we went looking for 2 smart rovers. And I was specifically looking for the Generation 1 2 smart, which is... Okay, good. The picture is here. It's so derp. It's so derp. Here, check this out. This is the current Gen 2 smart, right? 2 seats, a really good scan arm, some mystery goo science experiments, a full kit, the thrusters, decent amount of batteries, and a landing strut. Pretty advanced, right? This is the state-of-the-art model. All right, this is the first one. One light, no seats, 1 battery. Very, very awkward solar panels, which would always break. No seats on this thing. The seats hadn't been added to the game yet. Oh, man. Look at that fucking... I think I called it the tractor. It wasn't nearly as good as, it wasn't nearly as good as this one. This one right here, like 2011, maybe. This one right here, 2022. It's been a long time. We've come a long way, guys. That's a Mark 1 2. Yes, this is a Mark 1 2 smart. No seats. 1 light. Very, very awkwardly placed solar panels that would always break no matter what you do. Finally found an image of it. You're never going to believe where I found it. Get this. Imgur. It was in the old Imgur archive. I also found old pictures of the rescue mission to go get Jofke, the Mobile Mun Laboratory, and the initial launch of the Celestia 2 space station. So, some pretty interesting stuff in that old archive there. There we go. Speed, cruise control. Why do we call it speed control? It's literally cruise control. Going a little fast there, pal. Might wanna rein it in. I don't know what the top speed of these wheels is, you know, before they break. I should look at that, actually. I would make a mobile lab. Well, the mobile MUN laboratory was accidentally deleted. Well, okay. I'm gonna cue you guys in on the Charlie rescue mission. The mobile MUN laboratory was crewed by two people, some other guy and Charlie. Now the problems arose when well, it turns out the mobile MUN laboratory was using a modded part called the Heavy Strut. Now the Heavy Strut was just like the regular strut, except it was basically indestructible. It was just a little bit heavier, but it was good, so I used it for everything. But problems arose when that part stopped being supported, and it deleted all my shit. I was able to save a couple of things, notably the Celestia 2 space station and the Satellite of Love, but everything else got the axe, because I'll be fucked if I'm gonna go through like 20 things and replace all of the struts with regular struts by the means of code editing. It's not as hard as you may think, but it's still a pain in the ass. Now, the thing is, Charlie was outside the laboratory when this happened. He was on EVA. So, when I loaded him back up, he was just standing there on the MUN with nothing around him. So we had to go get him. He's still with me. He's been on board Pegasus a couple of times, actually. There's the ship. They spent 3.5 years getting that thing here, and now we're, finally taking her home. Ish. Not precisely home, per se. It stays up here. Okay, that... Start reining her in, Jofke, because you're going 20 meters a second. Don't make me use the fuel. There is a limited amount of fuel, Jofke. That's the one design flaw with this thing, is that this tank is limited. Like, once we're out of fuel, we're done for good. We had a lovely time here on Tylo. We'll have a lovelier time on the other planets. See, now I can hear that stupid science camp of his. Damn it, Dave. Yeah, Jeb, the reason you're having trouble driving is because you're going way too damn fast. Slow down. You gotta rein him in sometimes. And that's gonna be in the cycle forever, isn't it? Wait, was that? Yep, that's Dave. Okay. Can I move my avatar a little to the right? Unfortunately, no. Wait, why? Is there something over there? Because, like, that's not anything, that's just Kerbal. down in the corner. I could move it to the right, but then you wouldn't be able to see my lovely face. Anyway, we're starting up the next one. So it turns out about 20 days or so is enough for the goo monitor to run through its entire science cycle. Same with a number of these, actually. The ionographer still has a bit to go, but other than that, we've done all our science stuff. We've been here for a couple of weeks now, and it's finally time for us to get this show on the road. Start figuring out how we're actually gonna get out of here. Hey, Jeb. So, I stripped a couple of struts off of this thing. Not all of them, mind you. We're gonna be a little lopsided, but just a little bit. I only really tore them off of this booster, so hopefully the overpowered reaction wheels that we have on board will be able to hold this thing in place. Now, I did want to rip the storage crates off this thing. Those are going to have to be torn off with the landing legs and everything else. And the ladder, for that matter. Gotta be careful with this ladder. I've gone up it a couple times now, and it does not fully cooperate sometimes. Alright, store all of that. 3 of them didn't go in, probably because they're already in there. No, grab, please, thank you. Alright, get inside. Yeah, there's just a bunch of surface samples. Because we're coming back with about a mountain's worth of Tylo rocks. Tylo is technically a moon, so we could call them moon rocks. I was about to say we might be able to ditch his jetpack, but no, we might need that later. We don't know how much fuel we're gonna have left once we okay, Jeb, you're doing this. Okay. As long as you're moving towards the hatch, I don't care. Or okay, that is not moving towards the hatch, Jeb. Thank you. Where the hell did you end up? Okay, congratulations. You're in a bit of a tricky spot here. Okay. I cushioned that fall as best I could with the jetpack. And this is why we're keeping them. Actually, we're keeping them because they may have to spacewalk over to our ride home. I haven't pieced all of that together yet. I won't be able to until we're actually in orbit, and I can piece all of that together. Okay, fine. Just don't fall off again. Please. Pick a direction. If he pings off one more time, I swear. Okay, he just teleported himself right in front of the main hatch. Good. JFK, where are you? There you are. Come on, buddy. Time to go. Time to shut the... What the... How come those headlights are still working even with the lights off? Are those your headlights? I don't know. Leave seat. Oh, yeah, those are his headlights. Okay. See, they're on because the suit glows. Yeah. Perfect dismount there, Jafke. Absolutely fantastic. How you doing? You alright? He's probably fine. Alright. Tylo. This is an interesting moon. It's big. They say this moon is roughly the size of Kerbin. Certainly has just about as much gravity as Kerbin. Frankly, I thought this moon was just very, very dense. No, it's just a pain to get here. Getting back might be an even bigger problem, though. Okay. So... here's the situation. Pegasus is currently in orbit, ready to take us home. But I don't know if we have enough fuel to reach it. So, Pegasus might have to do the orbital maneuvering in order for these two to link up. After that, I should be able to use what's left in the RCS tank to dock the two ships. So, Ascent Guidance has to get this right. We need to launch into the plane of the target, which is... I'm not sure, but we will be in, like, directly underneath the target plane in 2 days, 5 hours, 55 minutes, and 44 seconds. Gonna save here because a lot of things can go wrong. I honestly wanted to... Actually, you know what? Before we leave... Jafke, buddy, I think maybe we don't need 5 ladders. Just make sure those crash back down and don't hit anything. I'll take it. It's a good thing we saved, because, Jeffkey, if you fall, I might have to leave you here. This thing is so bad, it's setting off the seismic sensor. Oh no. Okay, he's back in now. The rest of the ladders, except for these up top, are set to be separated when we launch, so that's not a problem. And someone asked a question. No, hero shooters are not my cup of tea. We're still on live chat. Alright. That's as much weight as I can get off of this thing. We're gonna time warp all the way to our launch window. God, I wish we had some lights on this thing. I just realized we're not gonna have any, wait. Are we not? Oh, shit. We're not gonna have any radioisotope thermoelectric generators at launch. Or, well, after those boosters are done, we're not gonna have any. Okay. Three, 2, 1, 0. Legs have already been separated. It's just extra weight, guys. Jeez. That is a lot of power. Oh my god, look at the G-force indicator! Oh, jeez. Oh, you're kidding. That got us through that stage? Oh my god. What? Okay, this is going way better than it did in testing. Like, normally by now we're on the second stage of this thing. Holy crap! Someone in chat says unlimited power. Yeah, no, that was a lot. But this is the KS-25 Vector engine. This game's equivalent of the Space Shuttle engine. And these two are aerospikes. Perfectly good engine. It's just more fuel efficient than the Vector. Plus, well, obviously this engine is less powerful by a landslide, but it should suit our needs for getting us into a stable orbit. If they don't get crushed by the G-forces on the way up, because holy crap. That was pretty heavy. I don't think we've ever had a launch velocity like that. Of course, we needed an engine that powerful in order to land. Literally could not have done that any other way. Viper asked what was the speed on that, and I think it's I don't believe in measuring it in speed. Speed is relative to speed is relative. Because, like, we're only increasing speed as we go up. Right now, we're sitting at 2,000 meters per second. That is 2 kilometers a second is our current speed. Okay. Now the hard part. We need to actually rendezvous somehow. Start out by matching planes in 6 minutes. I'm not entirely sure we're gonna have enough fuel for this, but I'll bring the recording back if a problem comes up. Recording is off. But yeah, hey, look, that right there. You see that? That was our seismic sensor picking up the boosters that we dropped. So we have 2,041 meters per second of fuel left. That's way more than I thought we'd have. Way more. We might actually be able to make the rendezvous with this ship alone. I did give her a lot of fuel. Like a heck of a lot of fuel. This is some extended tanks. Normally it's about half this amount, if even. We're sitting at about half a tank, but don't pay attention to what's left in the tank. Pay attention to the number, because that basically tells you how much you have left that you can do. Because, like, consider this. We're in space, right? Space, in space, speed is relative, but the lighter we are, the less force we need in order to get moving. So if this engine is pushing around a lighter fuel tank, that means we're getting more speed out of it. Which basically just means you can't trust the fuel meter. Why didn't you put 4 engines on it? To save weight. This engine was always meant to be fired while we were high above the planet. And 4 engines, that's just extra weight that we can't deal with. This is a very serious mission. We can't exactly afford to carry extremely heavy stuff with us, like a extra large rover. Why is the frame rate already this bad? Oh, hello. Hang on, I'm bringing the recording back. Okay, it is 3 minutes later, and, holy crap. I seriously underestimated this ship. Wow. Okay. That is incredible. Pegasus is right there. I would have assumed it would need like 1,000 meters per second to get up to an orbit this high, but no. It only drained down about 500, maybe 600, 700 at the absolute most. Wait, no, not even 500. Oh my lord, this game has once again seriously made me question my own calculations. Alright. I'm gonna bring her in for dock, but when we get close, I'll bring the recording back again. Jesus. Wow. Okay. These damn ships that I've built continue to surprise me. The only problem that may arise is that this thing does not have a... It's not exactly running with a deluxe RCS thruster system. We're gonna be hauling a pretty heavy fuel tank with just 4 thrusters and probably whatever's on the capsule. Move this, please. Thank you. The thrusters on this are enabled. Okay, that's good. I told it to stop at about 100 meters. Gravity is crazy. Velocity is crazy. Yeah, okay. She, exceeded my expectations again. As usual. Can we auto-warp this? That's a no. Well, okay, we gotta sit here for about, hang on. Three and a half minutes, more or less. I just timed it out in my head. It's probably not 3.5 minutes. It could be worse. Do you guys remember when the channel got hacked? I got a thing on Google Drive today. That was like, why is that still open? The purple stuff thing. Yeah, I got a message today on my Gmail. It was from Google Drive. It was saying, hey, a file has been shared with you. It's a YouTube copyright report from, you know what, let me find it in my spam folder. From Darius Giordanella, which is a name on par with Quandale Dingle for how ridiculous it is. And he sent me YouTube copyright report PDF. And it was regarding our live stream this past week for Made in Abyss. And it was saying, hey, this is under review, and if we find shit on it, your video is going to be taken down. And here's some info about strikes. Now, the darndest thing is, and I'm like, okay. So I go to check the, Made in Abyss VOD. There's not a single claim on it, so... No. And then there's a mysterious link on it. There's a link on, this little report thing that says View Full Report. And that takes you to a blank page that may or may not have injected malware onto my machine. So if we wake up tomorrow and the channel has been hacked, we know why. I have backup codes saved to my desktop now. So I have another way into my account now. Unless they have a way to reset the backup codes. I think that takes like 7 days for those to get reset. Hey, look, it's Tylo. No, not Tylo, the other one, Val. It's that little one right there. Lath is right there. You can't really spot the other two. Alright, we're coming up on 100 meters. Someone else is trying to hack you? I think everyone's trying to fucking hack me. Like, they've been running these goddamn scams ever since I was selected to win 2 free iPod Nanos. Alright, she's parked. She's got enough fuel left in her to, what are you doing? No, this is fine. She's got enough fuel left in her to, hey, you guys want to land again? We got fuel. Christ, she's gone into a spin for no reason. There we go. Hey, cartoons. We're already in orbit, and the rocket way, way, way outperformed anything I thought it was gonna do. Alright, Pegasus, give me your forward docking hatch. Filled in, buddy, where are you at? Can you give the old girl a spin, please? I know that that's very, very scary whenever I ask you to do that, but it's gonna speed up the process and quite possibly make it so that we don't run out of fuel. This is the good ship, Pegasus. Wait, where are you controlling from? Hang on. Control from here. Okay, yeah, we're good. Start no time for caution. You don't need to do no time for caution. What we're doing here is no different from standard NASA lunar orbit rendezvous. Like, the plan with NASA to put people on the moon was to send up 2 ships, have the lander go down, then come back up, and then you go home on the spaceship you took from Earth. They meet up in orbit. This was not the first plan to get people to the moon, by the way. Also, there was no docking music from Apollo 13. I believe there was a plan in the early stages of the moon program. Like, one of the plans was put a man on the moon just as soon as possible. Just get him there. And keep sending him supply ships until we figure out how to get him back. And they were like, yeah, no, that's never gonna happen. That was back in the day. Werner von Braun is scratching his head trying to figure all this shit out. And he was just like, this is just a big rocket. A really, really, really big rocket. Instead of the whole thing. Music played in the movie when they docked with the LEM. I don't remember that scene. There was also a speech planned. Yes, there was a speech planned if Apollo 11 failed. In fact, they were quoting it in the Apollo 18 movie. Hey guys, look at that! We went to Tylo! And we didn't run into Tylo spiders! Guys, I've been to the Mun. I've been to the Mun. I didn't see Mun rock spiders. I didn't see Minmus rock spiders. Duda rock spiders. There were no Ike rock spiders. There were no Moho rock spiders. There were no Elu rock spiders. Bop rock spiders. Pole rock spiders. None of them. None of that. Val rock spiders. Nope. None of that. Not even Drez. Can you believe that? No Drez rock spiders. It's almost like having goddamn moon rock spiders is the stupidest thing ever conceived by human beings. Where did they come from? What do they eat? Is it photosynthesis? If it is photosynthesis, then why did they evolve to have claws and teeth? Why would they need that? On what evolutionary purpose would they have for that? Just raises way more questions than it answers. Why would they evolve to have venom? Why would they need venom? There is nothing on the moon for them to bite and poison. There's no evolutionary need for that. Which is why I don't Guys, let's dig real deep into the science on this one. They may have come from another planet. That's stupid, and you know it. They still would have been there for billions of years. The majority of, the moon craters come from rogue asteroids or various rocks that slammed into the moon while it was first being created in the big just mess that was the beginning of the universe. Billions and billions of rocks slamming into one another, creating the planets. Yeah, let's dig into the science. The science of why would moon rock spiders evolve this way? Could say ancient aliens if you want the stupidest explanation for the moon rock spiders. Ancient aliens. That was the plot of Moonfall, though. The plot of Moonfall was that the moon is basically a Dyson sphere, except it's very, very stupid. Really hate that show. It was a movie. I saw an article today, actually, that was being like... Well, actually, I see this article a lot. It's basically like, you need to watch the most underrated sci-fi movie on HBO Max right now. Or watch the most unappreciated science fiction movie streaming now. Or, you know, something like that. And then it tells you about this really obscure... movie that nobody's heard of, or it tells you about this really well-known movie that everybody's heard of, and then you realize that this is just a clickbait article. And today, that clickbait article wanted me to watch Moonfall. Which is the... I can only hope that that is the last movie that Roland Emmerich is allowed to make. I mean, ancient aliens haven't seen Moonfall? Good. You don't want to see Moonfall. Moonfall is bad. They were bad people making a bad movie. But I love Planetees. I love Planetees. This is like my favorite space anime. But note to self, watch that again. Oh, wait, gotta bring the recording back. Okay, reducing docking speed now to 0.2 meters per second. There we go, coming in nice and smooth. Plenty of fuel left, actually. Barely used any. That was astounding. Absolutely astounding. Okay, close this. Let me see, Let me see how much, how much of this they want down in the lab. Probably all of it. EVA report, the surface samples, light stone analysis, the checkerboard analysis, atmospheric pressure, temperature scans, seismic scans, the gravity scans, mystery goo observations. That's pretty much all of it. This should keep the science team busy for, well, a good long while from the looks of it. Very nice. Okay, let's see. Where can I send you guys? Jovkey. Let's have you go, to the main crew deck. Where's Dave? I need Dave down in the lab. So that we can, really start getting to work on this. On all this science. And Jeb, the most important one of them all. Yeah, go with Jofke. Okay, let's see here. So that's just counting it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 people on board. Normally there are 7. But her maximum capacity is 10. We have room for 2 more. God, she's such a good ship. So is this thing. We can go ahead and, turn the lights off now, over there. She never did have a lot of lights, did she? I hope we didn't leave anything in there. Let me check. We left some engineering kits, but... well, let me check cargo real quick. I mean... alright, yeah. Give me a stack of them. Just in case something breaks over here and we need to repair everything. Alright. Goodbye. Wait, was that lights on or off? No, they're off. Wait. Oh no, this is the Clampatron. The Clampatron has lights? Whatever. So long, Endeavor. Undocking is good. This thing has a probe module on board, right? Yeah? I have control here? I do. Okay. Such a good ship. They all are, but this one was just bigger. It stays up here. It's not going anywhere. I'm not gonna slam her into the ground. I use these things as relays. Kinda. Part of me thinks I'm not really getting much out of them. Get on out of here. I'm gonna put her into a low orbit. a stable orbit, but a low one nonetheless. Or at least lower than Pegasus. There she goes. You can turn off that RCS, please. Thank you. There we go. That's it. She lives there now. At around 400,000 meters above Tylo at a very, very slanted angle. Alright. Let's get Pegasus the hell out of here. And we're off the air. Anyway, someone asked a question. Have I heard of Yukikaze jet fighter? Can't say I'm familiar. Let me look it up right now for you. I think it's just Yukikaze. Alright, it's not an anime, it's an OVA series, and it only ran for 5 episodes. No wonder I've never heard of it. Oh, it did get a dub, though. I don't know, maybe I'll look into it. Anyway, where's our, Periaps? Actually, it's coming up. I need us to, let's do it like this. That's about 488 to get us out of that orbit. But I think if we... Odd. Okay. Sure, why not? Alright. I was hoping we could just get out of here in one really good burn, but fine. Fine, game. We'll do it your way. First, we need to burn it until we're away from Tylo. That one is good. Then at Periaps. Stand by. Then at Periaps we burn again. Until we're out of the Joule system. I'm not going to burn more than we have to. It's about there. That's good. And from there we'll figure out a way home. It should be a simple matter of falling back towards Kerbin, which is on the wrong side right now, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. We usually do. All right, node is in 31 minutes. Let's get her in position. What side of the planet are we gonna be on with this? One sec. Okay. We will be on the light side. Good. You could go ahead and get rid of the docking autopilot. Oh no, don't worry. You let me know when you're ready to go, game. Do we have sunlight right now? Pretty sure that's a no. Okay. Sure, it's just no big deal. I was wondering if we could just burn now and get this over with. I would bring the recording back now. Alright, I got a couple maneuvers lined up for our return trip. It's not a particularly difficult return, so we're not going to show all of it, but, yeah, I feel that you folks at home know what Pegasus is capable of at this point. We don't really need to show everything. 28 says, so 14, I guess. Sure. Alright. And we can bring her up to full throttle this time. Really see what she can do. Well, actually, we know what she can do. It's just... whatever, we get home faster. Well, not really. Speed is all relative in space. I mean, we're orbiting a thing that's orbiting a thing that is also orbiting a thing. It's all relative. You could say your car goes fast, but your car is on a planet hurtling through space at speeds you can't even imagine. How fast do you think galaxies move? God, I love thinking of this stuff. It just makes you feel really small. Alright, I'm gonna bring this recording back when we hit, I think around when it comes time to do, intercept burns with Kerbin. Yeah, that's probably good. Alright, we're off the air again. We're on our way. It won't be tremendously long, guys, unless we have to do a big spin around the sun, which we'll have time acceleration for all of it. It's just gonna be a pain. Cut it. Just cut it. I hate doing that. It makes her hate me. Okay. We're getting a slight amount of wobble, but it's manageable right now. So we're gonna roll with it. Interesting. She has to do a 180-degree turn to line up the next maneuver. This would explain why, after we left Tylo's sphere of influence, we started losing relative speed around Joule. Because we would have been burning retrograde. This is how the Russians lost their space laser, guys. All right, all right. That burn is in 24 days, and we're not looking for perfection on it either, so we can just go to map and sit around, do nothing. Oh. That would be why. We have to do a full orbit of Jewel, guys. All the way out to Apogee, where we are going barely 1 kilometer a second. Still inside of the orbit of Pole. Yeah, that would explain a couple things. We're going half as fast as out there as we are down here. Everyone understands what's going on, right? Everyone understands the basic principle of orbital mechanics and relative speeds, yes? Is anybody lost? Because it was my knowledge that everybody took that class on orbital mechanics and theoretical physics. Coming up on it. Hang on. I need to do a burn for about 24 seconds right here. Stand by. Here we go. Very nice. How's power output? Power output is not stable today. What is going on with you guys? They're getting sunlight, but if we spun it, when it might have, we might be getting more power, but shit. How long has this been happening? Do these lose effectiveness after... Have I seen Das Boot? No, but I wanted to. I think Harrison Ford is in that movie. Banana rotate. Yeah, basically. Orbital mechanics are not that hard to understand. Basic orbit mechanics, at least, can be explained with third grade statistics, basically. Think of a ball, a tennis ball. If you throw that ball, it goes a little ways, hits the ground, bounces a couple times, rolls, and then it's over. If you throw that ball harder, it goes further. Now, imagine throwing that ball so fast that it doesn't hit the ground. Yes, if you throw it hard enough, you will miss the horizon. Now, obviously, you are in an atmosphere, so there's a lot of air to drag it down eventually. Now, in space, there is no atmosphere. So, the goal is to throw our rocket so fast that we not only get it out of the atmosphere, but it's also constantly spinning around the planet. The planet is still pulling us down. Take Joule, for example. Joule is... Well, at this point, it's technically not pulling us down because we're on an escape velocity. But that's because I pushed our ball so fast that it can escape. That's what an engine is, basically. Basically, basic orbital mechanics is you are going so fast you miss the ground. It really is that simple, actually. It's just you are going so mind-numbingly fast that you miss the ground. That's why weightlessness in space, it's not really weightlessness. You're just in a constant state of falling. It's just everything around you looks relatively stationary, so your brain interprets it as weightlessness. How long until that? Oh my god. Alright, get comfortable. This is not the only bottle I have on the desk right now. Bottle number 2. Okay. Shit, I just thought of something. How many people fit on the shuttle? Is it 7 or 8? Oh shit. I might need to redesign the shuttle. I don't know yet. I'll let you guys know. Well, the good news is in about 300 days, Kerbin should be in a better position for us to intercept it from where we are now. So with any luck, we'll be heading home here soon. $13,000 meters per second of delta V remaining, by the way. 13,000 is... That's enough for a round trip to Elu. You could go ahead and get rid of this now. Thank you. Kerbin's about to go on to the other side of the sun. Would have put a monopropellant xenon gas scoop. A what? You do realize that in order to fuel scoop, we'd have to get very, very close to the star, and we don't have alloys capable of sustaining that kind of heat right now. Thinking about doing a live stream dedicated to Queen Elizabeth II? No, but I find it disturbing how quickly the Discord server jumped on the hate wagon. Because I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? What did the Queen do? And she's like, oh, she passed a bunch of laws to protect pedophiles, and she's a bitch, and I'm like, what the fuck? Guys, she's dead. The corpse isn't even cold yet, and you guys are spitting on it. I mean, I get it. I hate Donald Trump, too, and I can't wait for him to die, but... maybe lay off, will ya? Even Queen Elizabeth had the decency to elbow Trump in the stomach and judo flip him. Or at least give the order to do that. Oh, I think B is done with the D&D server. But Viper, I think our fuel tanker will work for now. And Kerbin came right the fuck back around. Good. Thanks for showing your ugly face again, Kerbin. I mean, that is ultimately where we're going. By the way, our relative speed to Joule is now under 100. So, yeah. Okay, now we're in orbit around the sun. Let's, figure out where we're going. Okay. Finally left Joule's influence. Let's get, Kerbin set up as the target here. And we'll get a maneuver planner out. And transfer to target. At optimum time, create. Okay, that's in, oh. Time is an illusion, so, yeah, sure, I'll take it. As long as I can do it on this orbit. Give me 1 minute heads up on that. Yeah, alright. That'll work. Hopefully in the next shot, we will be slowing down to a park around Kerbin. Alright, recording's off again. Like I said, this one is definitely not going to take us 7.5 hours. The first thing we have going for us is, well, we only have one ship to manage. Second is we're not climbing away from the sun, we're going to fall towards it. Which means as we get closer, we're going to increase speed. Queen Elizabeth talked to a burglar who broke into the palace once. What a champ. There was this one couple that invited the queen to their... Oh. Sorry, I'm reorienting the ship. There was this one couple that invited the queen to their wedding as a joke. She showed up. She went. Ah, Lord. End of an era. Literally. End of an era. She reigned for 70 goddamn years. She is the longest reigning monarch in British history. Alright, good. Well, now we know how the Netflix series The Crown ends, don't we? She dies at the end. Does anyone watch The Crown? Or is it just my parents? Netflix cancels everything. Except for Disenchantment, apparently, because I recently did hear it's getting a season 5. Like, it's been confirmed, the staff are working on it. So, whoever told me about Disenchantment, rejoice. It hasn't been canceled yet, despite Netflix being very trigger happy with the cancellations. What is... Wait a minute. Are you guys not researching? They're doing it at a rate of 0.5 science per day. So, like... How much have we ended up with? Over the past 100 days. They weren't researching. God damn it, guys. Alright, now they are researching. Yeah, see, there we go. There's the numbers. Here's hoping Disney doesn't have that one song in their Peter Pan remake. Here's hoping Disney doesn't have the Peter Pan remake. I'm so sick of Disney. Like, meh, I'm Mr. Disney, look at me. I'm gonna ruin your childhood by taking all of your favorite movies, and now they're live action and worse. Yeah, I'm Mr. Disney, look at me. I'm gonna fucking sabotage my own goddamn movie, Bob Iger. Hey, look at me, I'm Bob Iger. Look at me, I'm Bob Iger. I'm gonna ruin Treasure Planet for the guys making Treasure Planet so that we can't have more Treasure Planet now. Oh, it's a box office failure. Too bad, so sad, you're all fired. I'm Mr. Bob Iger. Look at me. Man, look at me, I'm Mr. Disney. I remade the Jungle Book, and 99% of it was fucking CG. It's not a live action. Man, look at me, I'm Mr. Disney. It's the Lion King again. Now it's in live action. We call it live action, but literally everything on screen is fake. I'm Mr. Disney. Look at me. Yes, of course I've heard of Titan AE. That was from the weird era of animation, the 2D, 3D hybrid animation, which awesome period of animation. Some of my favorite movies came out of that: Treasure Planet, Atlantis, Lost Empire, and Titan AE. And then it just fucking died. It fucking died, and then the My Little Pony movie came in and was like, I'm gonna try that again. And I ended up praising the animation in that movie to no end. Man, look at me, I'm Mr. Disney. Fucking, She-Hulk. Me. I'm Mr. Disney. I'm gonna buy fucking Star Wars and ruin it. I'm Mr. Disney. Look at me. Look at me. I'm Bob Iger. Fucking jackass. Hey, look at me, it's Bob Iger. We made that Artemis Fowl movie. Give us your money. I know it's shit, but give us your money. Please, we're struggling to pay for our third homes here, and I've only had 5 vacations this year. Think of me, the little guy, Bob Iger. The struggling man, Bob Iger. I can't afford my vacation home. In a country you can't even pronounce. Me, Bob Iger. And now we will secede from the nation and form our own super society, in the Disney super society, and there's nothing you can do about it. All joking aside, that part is actually true. Did anything explode yet? Yeah, the ladders that we ripped off of the lander so that we could launch. Scared what their live-action remake of Bambi will entail. Oh, look at me, I'm Bob Iger. We call it live-action Bambi, but everything on screen is fake. But these bastards will fall for it anyway. Look at me, I'm Bob Iger. Take my money. Oh, wait, no, that thing I just said, but backwards. Give me your money. You can't have my money, it's mine. I'm Bob Iger. I get tax breaks from the government. Look at me, I'm Bob Iger. Pay me. Yeah, Marvel hasn't been the same since Stan Lee died. Because ever since Stan Lee died, it's been like, oh, look at me, I'm Bob Iger. This is our new superhero. He's sharp and witty. And this is his friend. He's sharp and witty. And this is his villain. Sharp and witty. Pay me. These are our 2 new superheroes. This is Safe Space, and this is Snowflake, and this is our new movie, Eternals, with a deaf superhero. Deaf, this is one of her superpowers. Hashtag pay me. What is happening? We're losing all of our great superhero movies. And then they come out of nowhere and they're like, hey, Thor, Love and Thunder. And then Sony is like, oh, we can one-up that. Morbin time. Meanwhile, Spider-Man is over there like, what the fuck? What? This is the best Spider-Man movie ever. What the fuck happened to Marvel? It was something after Endgame that just pushed him over the edge. It was me, Bob Iger. I pushed him. I'm Bob Iger. Hey, look at me, I'm Bob Iger. Ever watch SML? No. I've watched SNL, Saturday Night Live. If it was one good thing to come out of the Trump presidency, the SNL jokes fucking wrote themselves. And they re-released Morbius because of internet memes. Oh yeah, that reminds me. They're gonna re-release Avatar in theaters, guys. You want to review Avatar? It's a perfect excuse to review Avatar. That could be our September review. The only thing I liked about Trump is that he was fun to mock. Exactly! God, the Saturday Night Live jokes wrote themselves! That was the funniest shit they've ever done. What was my thoughts on the dogfight scene in Top Gun Maverick? Didn't you watch my Apollo 18 review? I didn't see Top Gun Maverick. But yeah, Avatar. Perfect excuse to review Avatar. Be like, was it really all that great? Well... yeah, kinda. Fantastic, thank you. The thing about Avatar is that literally nothing like that had ever been attempted in the past. Like, special effects had never been attempted on that scale before. Not that heavily. And it was like... it revolutionized special effects pretty much forever. The plot was virtually non-existent, alright? It was Fern Gully meets the Smurfs. Very tall Smurfs, but... Yeah, I'm not that into, the Top Gun series. Let's say this, though. Tom Cruise is crazy. Eastern Mecca or Western Mecca media? Definitely Japanese. Definitely Japanese, but we... I gotta acknowledge that we have some fucking bangers when it comes to mecha. Like, Pacific Rim is obviously a really strong contender. And of course, Titanfall, technically a mecha. But like, even compared to those, they got nothing on stuff like Gundam and Big O. We should burn now, actually. What was that one I just watched recently? Sakugan. That was another really good, it's technically a mecha. Oh, god damn it. We had Megas XLR, didn't we? Shit. Oh, man. Would have made a mecha anime using the real-life method walkers that are being made in South Korea. I highly doubt mechs are ever gonna serve any significant combat role. Not unless they can frickin' dodge tanks. Otherwise, tanks are just gonna continue to dominate. Ultra heavy infantry walking attack helicopter. That reminds me of the helicopter from Intrusion 2. It was a side-scrolling game. Really kick-ass one, too. And, The first boss is a helicopter that comes out, and he has robot arms, and he starts punching you. This is a real game. It's kind of old, too. You should review the Winnie the Pooh horror movie. I should, make my own Winnie the Pooh movie, because Winnie the Pooh has entered public domain. As long as we don't put Tigger in the movie, we won't get in trouble for it. Public domain. There's a Barney the Dinosaur horror movie. Probably because public domain. Barney was bad enough already? Oh, come on. He's lovable. He sings that song and he's like, I love you, you love me. Let's go kill your family with a great big knife and a bullet to the head. Hip, hip, hooray, Daddy's dead. No? Not amused? You don't just want to give him a great big hug? Come on. I wrote that song on the spot. It even rhymed. I wrote that song here for you. It like in my head as I was singing it. It even rhymed. Know how hard that is? It actually seems like what Barney does in his off time. Oh. I hate you, you hate me. Let's go kill your family. Why do they call it a kiddie pool if there are no cats? Well, because it's spelled K-I-D-D-Y. As in, you know, the little kids, the little kitties. The little kitty boys. The little naked boys hanging out in the pool. Hunter, don't say it like that. You made it weird. Look, I don't got much to do while the engine is burning, guys. Like... If I was going to make a sci-fi anime, I would have a semi-realistic ships with this design philosophy. Yep, guns on top, guns on the bottom. Star Wars has notoriously just done guns on top. I actually had a video lined up for, you know what? Hang on. We're getting down to the end of the burn here. Just give me a second. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Perfection. Anyway. I'm gonna play this for you guys. Would I fight a person who is a villain, bloodthirsty maniac, or a villain who is miserably self-righteous? I wouldn't fight either. I don't want to fight people. What the hell? Okay. I'm gonna show you this first. Add a source for window capture. On this. This is a video that I started working on 2 months ago. As you can see, it barely has any video in it. It's all audio. Also, Chai, we talked about Nazis at the center of the earth on the last Kerbal stream. But anyway, I talked about a lot of interesting stuff in this video, so, I'm gonna let you guys, give it a listen. This was originally going to be 3 separate shorts, but then I figured, screw it, let's just cover all of it. Did you know that sci-fi often gets spaceships wrong? Whether it be how they move, how they get around, or where they put the guns on these things. Star Wars is a really big offender of that last part, actually, and I'd like to actually talk about that first. The crazy thing about Star Wars is that for some reason in every single movie they put all of their guns on the top part of the ship and leave the bottom part of the ship extremely vulnerable. Now it's weird because in lore they actually acknowledge this. There's a bit during the Clone Wars where Anakin Skywalker got fed up with the Venator's lack of ventral weaponry, so he took one of the big artillery walkers, mounted it in the ventral hangar so that they could fire at ships underneath the Venator. Then you actually see this in the opening battle of Coruscant, where a giant beam fires out the bottom of a Venator and completely obliterates this separatist ship. Now, what's really obnoxious is that the Imperial Star Destroyer does the exact same thing. It just leaves the bottom of the ship completely vulnerable. And what's even more annoying is that the First Order still doing the same thing with their dreadnought, their Mandator dreadnought, which actually, I hate this ship. I really hate this ship. They call it a dreadnought. It's more of an artillery piece. It's got these 2 massive cannons underneath the ship, but all of the defensive weaponry is on top of the ship, and they don't even have that much of it. It really begs the question of, why don't you just go onto the bottom of the ship and hit the big super laser they have down there? It seems like a really important target. Just break that, then it can't do anything. Now, Star Wars is not the only offender of this, because there are so many. Star Trek, for example, I don't even know what's going on with the gun placement. They got guns on the front, maybe they got some torpedo launchers on the back, and as far as I can tell, that's about it. Sometimes they have, dedicated war. Just pausing here real quick. I have noticed that Star Trek is more akin to submarine warfare. Just putting that out there. Warships, or what they call phaser strips, which I guess those are a little bit better, but even then, you still gotta rotate pretty much the entire ship in order to hit anything. Then you have other sci-fi properties where they just put the guns on the front of the ship and nowhere else. Just forward-facing guns all the time. A lot of anime does this. Mass Effect, one of my favorite sci-fi properties, seems to do this as well, even though there are some ships in that universe that seem to have turreted weapons. Elite Dangerous is also a really big offender of that as well, but ships in that game are rather maneuverable, and you have the option to put, gimbaled weapons on your ship and sometimes turrets, so I guess that gets a pass. One sci-fi property that I feel handles its forward-facing logic very, very well is Bodacious Space Pirates. All of the guns in this universe only face the forward part of the ship. However, at the same time, they acknowledge the fact that space is really big, so these are actually very long-range weapons that we're dealing with. You know, as opposed to something like Space Battleship Yamato. Great fucking anime, I absolutely love it, but all of the guns are positioned on top of the ship. You have nothing on the bottom of the Yamato, and everything is, really up close. I get that the original anime came out in, the 70s, but it's still bothersome. Another thing that sci-fi tends to get wrong is orbits and how ships are supposed to move through space. Nobody seems to get this right. Nobody played the tutorial level of Kerbal Space Program. Star Wars gets this wrong again when Admiral Akbar says you can see the Death Star here orbiting the forest moon of Endor. Orbit would imply that it is spinning around the planet, but as far as we can see from the actual movie, it's just kind of sitting there. This is what we like to call a hover, and if an actual spaceship was doing this, it would eventually be pulled down to the planet, crash, and explode. This is why Moonfall makes absolutely no sense. Moonfall is another really big offender of this, actually. There's one scene where we just kind of see the space shuttle hovering over the moon, and the space shuttle cannot do that. Truth be told, orbital mechanics aren't, a huge problem compared to every other problem, but another problem that is big is the fact that nobody understands that space is big. Once again, we're back on Star Wars, where all of the guns on all of the ships in all of the movies are for close-range combat. Everyone's got to get really close and up at each other's faces in order to fight one another. Star Trek does this too. Another really big offender of this? Stargate. I know what you're thinking, though. Hunter, you don't like any sci-fi, do you? That is absolutely not true. I love Star Wars, I'm partial to Star Trek, and I absolutely love Stargate. I just wish everyone would get orbital mechanics and the understanding of the vastness of space correct. There are, however, 3 examples that I can come up with in movies, TV, and anime that get all of these things right across the board. In terms of movies, The Martian gets everything right across the board. It doesn't have any space combat or anything like that, but it absolutely does get all of its orbital mechanics down pat. A lot of this is towards the end of the movie, but it still gets everything right. One of my favorite bits of the movie, actually, is when he pokes a hole in his glove so that he can use the air pressure to give him that little extra boost so that he can get back up to the ship and push himself around. WALL-E does this too, and that's one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie. And since we're still talking about movies, I'm going to throw one more in here. Gravity, which is a movie that we haven't talked about in a very long time, gets all of its orbital science right and actually focuses on kind of a niche topic in terms of sci-fi, and that is Kessler syndrome, which is where satellites slam into satellites, creating debris after debris after debris, and it just becomes a whole big mess that we can't deal with. Think of like 500 million little screws spinning around the Earth at thousands of kilometers an hour, and like if that hits your spacecraft, it's gonna cause a lot of damage, and that's what Kessler syndrome is to the extreme. Anime that deals with this really heavily is Planetes, which is actually one of my favorite animes of all time. This is a bit of an older one, like the early 2000s, but it gets all of its orbital mechanics correct, and it's about people that go out and pick up space debris. I read the manga for this and absolutely fell in love with the concept, and they were like, hey, you know that has a 24-episode anime too, right? And for the longest time, that anime cost like $200, but now it's finally come down in price. They re-released it on Blu-ray. I highly recommend everybody check that out. It's an absolutely fantastic anime. It's got some cold, hard science to back it up. There is a character in this anime who is 12 years old, but she's taller than everybody else because she grew up in moon gravity. This anime is so good, the English dub is good. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. You can find it somewhere. It's not really streaming anywhere, but definitely pick up the DVD. Because to me, Planetes is more than just an anime about space. It's a celebration about space, and I absolutely love it. Another really good space anime, Orbital Children. It's not as long, it's not as practical, but it gets all of its science correct, even though with all the AI stuff, I think it's making shit up. But they take the time to talk about muscle atrophy and momentum and all that good space stuff that I absolutely like. If you haven't seen that, it's on Netflix. And in terms of actual shows, one show that absolutely gets all of its stuff correct is For All Mankind, which is an alternate reality Cold War where Russia beats the United States to the moon and kind of kicks the space race into overdrive. Every now and then they kind of forget that, oh, space is really big. Like when we have the Buran shuttle and the Pathfinder shuttle getting close enough that they can wave at each other through the shuttle windows. But other than that, everything is pretty solid. Like, a lot of this is woke virtue signaling garbage, but once you get past that, they actually do some really cool stuff. Nuclear-powered space shuttles, the canceled Russian Buran program, the Sea Dragon, the largest rocket never built, moon bases built around Shackleton Crater, ice on the moon, moon fights. I'm a sucker for anything with moon fights. It's already set to get a third season. I'm already very excited. Quick pause right here. Season 3 already wrapped up. This video was supposed to be done by then. So this line will probably be replaced with it's already set to get a Season 4. Which it is. For All Mankind Season 4 was recently confirmed. Actually, they confirmed it before Season 3 even finished. Excited. It's on Apple TV, that's kind of a niche one. Not everybody has that one, but at least they're getting some decent shows. And the crown jewel of all of these, just a show that gets every single thing right, is The Expanse, obviously. This is hard sci-fi that gets all of its orbital mechanics right. Everyone is living out in space, so muscle atrophy is a problem, and they focus on that. They make you know that that is a real problem. You got 3 different ranges of combat. One of them is close range, but you also have long range and ultra long range, and for that you got stuff like long range missiles and railguns, because they acknowledge that their target is probably going to be like a couple 100 kilometers away from them. So we need something that can hit that far. Space is big. I mean, really big. You may think it's a long walk down to the chemist, but that's just peanuts compared to space. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And because space is big, and we're thinking in the third dimension, they can come at us from pretty much every angle, which is why we have guns covering pretty much everything. Rocinante, for example, our hero ship, has, like, guns on every side of the ship, so no matter where they're coming at us from, or no matter where that missile is angled from, we have a gun that can hit that. This actually becomes a problem for them in the last season when they're facing off against a cruiser. They have to shut off their engine, spin their ship to fire the rail gun because it's on a fixed mount on the front of the ship, spin back around, and then fire the engine again. And this is the reason why a lot of the ships in the Expanse have guns mounted on the back of the ship, which is just a really freaking awesome idea. When you have guns facing the back of your ship instead of forward, you don't have to spin your whole ship around to fire at someone who's chasing you, which they probably will be with these orbital mechanics. It doesn't stop there either. They also account for how these ships need to be built, which is while the engine is firing, it's actually pushing you down towards the floor, which is why the ships in the Expanse are built like towers instead of actual traditional ships. The engines in Expanse can fire continuously with the invention of the Epstein drive, which is just this really good engine MacGuffin that can just fire forever. Hard science would call this a torch drive, so, like, as long as you're firing your engine, it just pushes you down towards the floor of the ship. For everything else, you have mag boots. Another thing that the Expanse does, which I don't see nearly enough of in sci-fi, is they vent all of the air out of the ship and they put all of their crew in suits. This way, they don't have to deal with decompression when they inevitably punch a hole through the ship. It's cold hard science. I love every bit of it, and after watching this show every year, annually, since Season 2 came out, I can assure you, it's a pretty good show. The only thing I've ever seen that takes this even further is a video game called Nexus: The Jupiter Incident. A game that I was not kind to on my visit to it over on the gaming channel. But this game goes all out. Long-range weapons, a centrifuge on pretty much every ship, engines on the front and the back so that you don't have to spin the whole ship in order to burn in either direction. That one's on GOG. And The Expanse is on Amazon Prime Video, however you may feel about Jeff Bezos launching his own people into space. And, let's be honest, you can't really call it space because that's a suborbital rocket. I mean, you can take them to the edge of space, but it's not really space. SpaceX does, actual orbital flights. You know, that is an orbital rocket, the Falcon 9. It can go into space. Your piece of shit rocket can't. Fuck you, Jeff Bezos. Who do you think you are? Thinking, I'm gonna get the moon contract. No, you're not. You don't have a working rocket, you moron. I could rant about Jeff Bezos for, hours. If I had to. And his stupid space program. Anyway, I did the fine-tuning burn while you guys were listening to that. We're going kind of slow right now because we're out past the orbit of Dres. So, just stand by. Ever seen Space 1999? No, but I have seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is the most boring movie ever created by human beings. Just ever. I hate that movie. It is so boring. It's like, oh, we're gonna go into the, what is it, the time portal? You know what scene I'm talking about. So, oh, he's gonna go through the time rift. Okay. A minute goes by. Another minute. And then you're like, wait, we have 8 minutes of this fucking thing? Space 1999 was a show from the 70s. It's about an explosion sends the moon away from Earth. Yeah, I'm familiar with the plot of it. It's nonsensical. Do you have any idea how much force would be required to push the moon away from the Earth? Like, if you were to release that much energy in one concentrated blast, you'd destroy half the moon in the process. Maybe even more. The moon is moving further away from us, though. It would probably destroy the moon? Yeah, probably. The moon is held together by mass and good intentions. The thing about the moon hitting Earth is that, well, first of all, it's not going to happen because the moon is actually moving further away from Earth at a rate you don't need to worry about. Don't worry. It's like 1 centimeter a year, I think. Yeah, trust me, you won't have to worry about it. Anyway, the thing about that is that or whatever, however you pronounce that YouTube channel, did a really good video on what if the moon half an inch a year. Yeah, like I said, Viper, not a rate that you need to worry about. But anyway, Kyrgyzstan did a video on what if the moon hit the Earth. And he weirdly released it around the same time as Moonfall, so coincidence? Probably not. But the thing is, if it were to continue, like, orbiting, but getting closer and closer with each orbit, we would have very, very bad tidal effects. Very, very bad. I'm talking tsunamis that reach Middle America. Like, it's going to be extremely bad. Every satellite in orbit will probably be thrown out of alignment, and, yeah, it will not be a fun time. But the thing is, before it actually hits, Earth's gravity will rip it apart. And we would be left with, basically a ring system, comparable to Saturn. Yes, Viper, Roche limit. That is the word. We might get hit by a bunch of rocks that kind of stray a bit too close, but other than that, no, mankind would absolutely survive something like that. In bunkers. But, no, it'd work. The moon's a funny thing. Moon's a funny little rock. Better build Stonehenge. Not that it'd help much. Ironically, I know what this is, but a super massive gun isn't gonna help you. What if the sun disappeared? Well, then, ideally we would drift closer to Jupiter and just orbit that. Because Jupiter has a massive, massive gravity well. So chances are we would probably get picked up by Jupiter or Saturn. Everyone would die. Everyone might not die, per se. Because, like, if the sun were to disappear, we would know about it and have time to prepare for it. It'd be like if, I don't want to scare you guys, but life on Earth is a delicate balance, and a hypothetical scenario is a rogue planet comes by close enough to Earth that fucks with our orbit and pushes us away from the sun. This is a thing that can happen. I'm not saying it will, and the chances of it actually happening are astronomically low, but it is a possibility. Now, if something like that happened, we would know about it, and we would have time to prepare for it. We would know, we would be able to pick up on an object that large. It's not hard. It's not hard to spot something that big. Yeah, they would figure it out. We'd probably live in bunkers for a while. Like, in the end, it all comes down to bunkers. You'd have to wear a suit outside, kind of like in that movie, The Wandering Earth. The Wandering Earth is a movie where, it's nonsensical, this movie. Alright, let me tell you about Wandering Earth, guys. Alright, Wandering Earth is a stupid, stupid movie where the sun is going out, in about 100 years. The sun is supposed to burn for another 5 billion years, but the writers in this movie say, no, that's happening now. So, the big plan to save humanity is they're gonna attach these just absolutely massive rocket boosters to Earth and push us out of the solar system over to Alpha Centauri and live around that sun, which is already an extremely nonsensical plan. But, like, the resources required for this alone is astronomical. In fact, they don't have enough resources to pull this off on Earth. That's basically what's happening here. And the moon's gone. The moon's fucked. Fuck the moon. We don't have the moon anymore. And they're flying by Jupiter, and like one engine fails, and then the orbit changes by like 75 degrees, and they're falling directly towards Jupiter. And like, it's stupid. So their whole plan is, well, we're gonna ignite Jupiter, and the explosion is gonna push us away from Jupiter because, well, it's a gas giant. Gas explodes, right? It's like, what the fuck? I'm gonna bring the video back. Okay, here we are, several years later. We're getting in close to Kerbin, finally. We'll be around it in about 10 days. I'm just gonna bring it right on in. Oh, wait, what? Why did that go down, like, really, really fast? I don't know. When's Periaps? In 1 day, 5 hours? Yeah, okay. Wait, is this adjusting itself? What the heck are you doing? Alright, times 10,000. No! Ugh. Okay. Now it's down to times 50. Let's see how we did on the orbital approach. Periaps. 200K. Oh. Let me adjust that real quick. Must select target for course correction. Crap. Well, okay. I mean, 266 is not terrible. What's it gonna take to circularize? Oh wait, hold on. Change periapts to 100. At a fixed time. Okay, thank you. Jeez, I don't care if it's a hyperbolic orbit. I know what that means. Alright, give her a spin. Looks like we might be burning on the dark side of Kerbin, which means no power. Or at least not a lot of power. God, I just need more radioisotope thermoelectric generators on board. Just about 80 more radioisotope thermoelectric generators to replace all the solar panels. That'll give us enough. Oh, no. How much power do those produce, like... How much power do we get with those, like, panels? This one is indirect sun. 27. Okay, maybe not. Because these only produce, like, 1. And one of these does 27. If it's indirect sunlight. Which these are. Oh my god. Look at this. This one's at 76. It's still 20. Okay, yeah. The panels stay. Alright, how much? 8.5. Alright, just be careful here. I don't want to hit it. Da, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfection. Alright, now, circularization. At the periapse. Create, how much? 2,846. Not even half of what she's capable of. Okay. But you could go ahead and chalk this video up as Pegasus is home. She didn't have to try very hard. She didn't even have to carry a lander this time around. I think, yeah. I think we could go ahead and burn here. It's like, get as much sun as possible. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be okay. Yep. It's gonna be one of those burns. Either way, that'll do it for the Vtuber Space Program. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and hit the like button really hard with your head. Lathe is next. I gotta put parachutes on a lander. And we are off the air for the rest of the night. So that can come down. What do I think of the Flash Gordon serials? I don't know. Who's Flash Gordon? Jackson. Oh, no, we're not done. The live isn't done. We still have to circularize. It's just I tell the people in the video, it's like, all right, you see this number, and you see that it's a lot smaller than this number. Okay, goodbye. We still have to sit here. We still have work to do, guys. Don't leave yet. That was me finishing the video portion of this. I just closed XSplit. Does she have a bit of wobble to her? Just a bit. Huh. Yeah, don't leave yet. We're not done. Anyway, how'd our science do? 105 out of 500. But the 500 is the maximum storage, so we don't need to worry about that. I told you it wasn't going to take 7.5 hours this time. It only took us 3.5. That's like 4 hours less. How's our power? Close the alarm clock, please. Power is draining at a rate of 85. That's just orbital wobble, nothing to worry about. No, it is something to worry about. You see, Pegasus tends to wobble. Because the thing about her is, you see this right here? This is a clampetron. You see this right here? This is another clampetron. This right here... Wait, no. This right here, another set of clampetrons. Above that, another set of clampetrons. Above that, another set of clampetrons. Yeah, there are struts in between them, but Pegasus is held together with patience, time acceleration, good intentions, and as much duct tape as I can slap onto this thing. Closing this. That's been out long enough. It's the magnetometer. It's one of our little toys. All right. Nearly halfway through the burn. Power is... Well, we still have power, which is good news. Bad news is we're still on curb and escape. I think we just got an intercept with some other planet if we do leave. Could be Duna. Or, no, I think it's Drez? Probably. I don't know. I've been to Drez, damn it. If the loading screen is like never visiting Drez. Never visiting Drez. Of course I visit Drez. We should actually have stable orbit here pretty soon. The thing's really starting to move. I don't think we're about to get picked up by Duna. Shame. Duna's fun. This is where I want to send my next big rover. I just have to design it first. There she goes. Okay. That is technically an orbit. That was a Mun encounter. You guys want to go to the Mun? She won't have a lander on board, but, I can send one from Kerbin. Nah, let's go home. Oh, Lord. How's our power? Fucking dead. That would explain the slowdown here. We're only getting a... cut the engines, please. That or... That seems to be a bit more stable. No, it is not. Alright, what power level do you want this at that we can fire everything at once? About this. Okay, that was problematic right there. That was a very serious problem. One that I can fix, but it's, fuck it. We're gonna take 2 orbits. This is all in the name of getting us a parking orbit. Stop clicking on my stuff. Okay. Just aim retrograde. It's fine. Kill that thing. As long as this doesn't go below 68,000, we're good. Which it definitely won't. Don't worry. My brother's Doom saying about Tumpy nuts again. Thank you for picking up on that. We might have to go back around here and, Yeah, alright. Rein her in. 74,000 is way too damn low. At Apogee, we're gonna try to raise it. Well, Viper, they're saying that this whole special master shit, they want it done by October 17th. Trump says, no, give him 90 days. And no, you know what he's doing. He's stalling. He's doing everything in his power to, like, start up his presidential campaign before he gets arrested. And you know what? Fuck him. I'm not doing another 4 years of him. I can't do another 4 years of him. I will not. Let's do 150,000. Or 140. And you know what? Yeah, 50,000 at this point. All right, 150K. And from here, spin us retrograde, please. $8,200 meters per second of fuel left, which is enough to go to the moon 3 times, in case anybody was worried. God, this thing scares me when it turns. Oh, God. She's so big. Of course, now it'll be like, oh, shit. Yeah, no, that's right. Spin it back the other way, please. Glad my brain caught that. If we're in that orientation when we go around to the other side of the planet, we're gonna be aiming prograde instead of retrograde. Because they flip. Flipping. Hi, Mr. Disney. Look at me. I'm gonna flip this movie into a live action. Now the movie is live action and worse. He's already gotten out of other situations like this. What, high treason for stealing classified documents? I highly doubt it. I think this is somewhat new for him. More or less. Spurring up a violent mob and then stealing classified documents and running off to Mar-a-Lago to sell it off at the highest bidder. No, I think this is something new for him. He's not gonna worm his way out of this, alright? This one's intense, alright? They stole his passports. You know what that means? You know what it means if they take your passports? If the FBI takes your passports? It means they're afraid you're gonna flee the country. So they're doing that to make sure it doesn't happen. The chances of him getting them back are very slim. I don't know if he's actually ever gonna see them ever again. What about the rights? He's got that scot-free? No, he has not. Believe me, he has not. Don't worry. He's going to hell for this. That's good enough. Let's, get the inclination down to 0. You know what? I'm tired. For once, I'm gonna use this button. Create and execute. Let's do some autopilot. I can do it myself. You've seen me do it. I'm just fucking lazy. This is the last burn we have to do, by the way. We will officially be in a parking orbit after this. She's home. Start a second civil war. I find it interesting that you think that even if he does run, he's gonna win. Because I think there are more than enough people now looking at him like, no. No, we're not doing that shit again. You see, 2016 was an eye-opener for everybody. I don't like talking about politics this much, so I'm going to be brief, and then we're going to change the topic forever. 2016 was a bit of an eye-opener. It made people think, if you don't vote, you get morons in charge. And people finally realized this. Oh, wait, I should turn this on, shouldn't I? So people are now realizing that, hey, if he's running, I gotta go out and vote for the other guy. Because, holy shit, no. Anyway. This is our last maneuver. We're not gonna... I'm not gonna do the shuttle tonight. Like, I was thinking, maybe do the shuttle tonight? No, we're not gonna do the shuttle tonight. I could, but no. I once flew from this airfield right here all the way to the Kerbal Space Center and landed on the runway. Just to see if I could. Took about an hour. Not that bad. I mean, like, in a jet, not a rocket. Jeez, okay, yeah. Don't be afraid to fucking cut the throttle. This is why I usually do it. Mechanical Jeb doesn't know how to be gentle. Periapps is good. Apogee is still good. Okay, Jeb, that's good enough. Thank you. You could stop spinning my rocket now. Very quickly and uncomfortably. What do I think about Ozen? I haven't actually touched the game since we streamed it, so give me a minute. Give me a few days on that. I don't know. I might pick up the game tomorrow night. I haven't decided what I'm doing tomorrow night yet. I have anime to catch up on tonight. Easy, girl. Easy. Can you please stop now? I'm gonna hit up some time acceleration to stabilize her. Because time acceleration turns the physics off. There she is. Like a gentle, majestic bird soaring through the air majestically. Like an eagle piloting a blimp. That's the game, boy. Pegasus is home. Next up is prep work for Lathe, and then getting stuff together for the extremely stressful Eve mission. Alright, so, yeah, we'll end it here. Thanks for coming, guys. Home in time for tea and crumpets. Oh, no, fuck that. It took them 3 years to get back here. Maybe even more. It took way too long to get back here, okay? And that engine piece right there that is the old engine. We don't even have that model anymore. Alright. Well, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go get some food and find some anime, and then I'm gonna unwind for the rest of the night because I have work tomorrow. And now I just realized I gotta get comment trails together. So this is a pretty easy page to put together, so that shouldn't be too hard. Okay. Okay, good night. Good night, everybody. Try to actually get some sleep tonight. I'm not gonna keep you up all night.